I turned 80 on a sunny October morning. No cake, no party, just me, sitting quietly by the window, looking down at my feet with a heavy sigh. These feet once carried me all over the country, but now just standing up sent a sharp pain through my knees. I used to tell myself, it's just my age, I'm 80, what more can I expect? But in that very moment, I had a realization. A small one, it seemed, but it would change everything that came after. I realized our bones and joints don't weaken because of age. They weaken because of neglect. For years, I'd cared for everything. My children, my home, my work. Everything except the very feet that carried me through life. And when I started to truly listen to my body, slowly, patiently, with kindness, I rediscovered something I thought was gone forever. The ability to walk lightly without pain. Doctors often say that after 60, the key to healthy living isn't medicine, but your daily lifestyle. Your bones and joints are like silent partners. How you treat them is exactly how they'll respond in kind. And so at 80, I started over from scratch, with the simple habits I had neglected for so many years. Today's video is the journey I want to share with you, not based on theory, but on my own experience and real changes. From simple morning movements, to meals that help soothe inflammation, to restful nights that let my bones recover. Every single thing I tried brought noticeable results, and I truly believe you can achieve them too, no matter your age. If your knees feel stiff every morning, if you have to grab a handrail each time you stand up, please don't just accept it as a normal part of getting older, because maybe just one small change today can help you walk more steadily tomorrow. So let me tell you where I began and how just 10 minutes a day managed to save my feet from being stuck in a chair for the rest of my life. First, gentle daily movement to keep joints flexible. I started with the simplest thing, gentle movement every single day. No gym workouts, no walking for hours, and certainly not those strenuous exercises that at 80 years old I just couldn't handle. Only slow, consistent movements. And thanks to them, my joints gradually woke up again after so many years of feeling stiff and rusty. Early in the morning before my coffee, I'd stand, reach for the scale, rotate my wrists and ankles, then gently sway my hips and lift my knees a few times. The whole thing took less than 10 minutes. At first, my knees would pop and crack, my ankles ached a little, and my movements felt shaky. But I kept at it, without forcing anything or expecting to be cured overnight. And then something wonderful happened. Doctors call this joint activation. When you move, your body releases synovial fluid, which helps lubricate your cartilage, making it smoother and more flexible. Blood flow also improves to the surrounding tissues, delivering the oxygen and nutrients needed for repair. On the flip side, if you sit still all day, your joints gradually stiffen, that fluid decreases, and feelings of dryness, pain, and tightness become your unwelcome companions. I remember a chat with my 82-year-old neighbor, Frank. He told me he'd needed a cane for his hip pain, but after his daughter gave him a video of gentle yoga for seniors, he started doing it for 15 minutes each afternoon. Now he's not only ditched the cane, but also enjoys walks in the park every week. It's not because I got younger, he chuckled. It's because I got moving. You don't need to climb 20 flights of stairs or do squats like you did when you were young. Simply standing up, gently rolling your shoulders, slowly bending forward, or walking around your home for a few minutes is enough to let your joints breathe. Remember this, joints don't like being still. They thrive on movement. I didn't start over with painkillers. I started over with a small circle of my wrist. And that is what saved me from the armchair, the place I thought I was destined to spend the rest of my life. Next up, I'll share something few people consider, how your diet can calm aching joints and help your body heal from the inside out. And you don't need a fancy menu, just the right things on your plate each day. Second, an anti-inflammatory diet to improve joint health. If movement helped open up my joints from the outside, then food was how I nurtured them from within. At 80, I realized what I ate didn't just affect my heart, blood sugar, or blood pressure. It also determined whether my knees would ache this morning, or if my hands could firmly grip a teacup instead of feeling stiff like yesterday. For many years, I ate whatever I wanted. If a meal was delicious, I ate a lot. If I was tired, I just have some milk and cookies. I never once considered that food could cause inflammation. But after an x-ray, when my doctor noted early signs of arthritis in my knee, I began to do some research. And I was shocked to find that many daily foods like red meat, fried items, and sweets were all quietly making my joint inflammation worse. So I decided to make a change. No extreme restrictions, just small steps. I cut back on sugar, ate less fatty meat, and added green vegetables to every meal. I started using turmeric, ginger, olive oil, salmon, and nuts, what experts call natural anti-inflammatories. Each meal was no longer just about filling my stomach, but about healing it. After 3 weeks, I noticed a very clear difference. My finger joints were less swollen, and I no longer woke up feeling stiff and numb. I could hold my toothbrush more easily and even started journaling again, something I hadn't been able to do for months. I'll never forget what Mrs. Judy, 79, shared at our community gathering. She had rheumatoid arthritis so severe she needed daily painkillers. But after her daughter suggested she try a Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, fish, healthy oils, and fruit, she was able to wean herself off the medication. "Every bite I take is a bite of healing," she said. I teared up hearing that because her words were just as true for me. If you're dealing with red, swollen hands, burning knees, or an aching back, don't immediately reach for a pill bottle. Take a look at your plate first. It's possible that what you need isn't in the pharmacy, but right in your kitchen. Next, I'll cover something many of us ignore, but it's when our joints get their best chance to recover: sleep, and how just one good night's sleep can help you walk more easily the following day. Third, quality sleep supports bone and joint regeneration. For years, I thought, I'm old. It's okay if I don't sleep much. I was used to staying up late and waking up early, feeling groggy all day with tired eyes and a weary body. But I never suspected that those very nights of poor sleep were silently causing my bones and joints to decline. At 80, I learned a hard lesson. Sleep isn't just for resting, it's for rebuilding. When you sleep deeply, your body releases growth hormone. And this hormone is what helps repair bone tissue, regenerate cartilage, and soothe inflammation without you even realizing it. Not getting enough deep sleep is like trying to renovate a house when the power keeps getting cut. The joints don't get healed, and the pain just lingers. I remember the months after I turned 78, I'd often wake up from a dull ache in my hip. During the day, I tried moving more and eating better, but nothing seemed to improve. It wasn't until my doctor asked a simple question: how many hours are you sleeping each night? I couldn't answer right away, and then I knew. I'd been neglecting the most crucial part of my recovery. So I started making adjustments. I turned off my phone and the TV by 9 p.m. I swapped my afternoon coffee for a cup of herbal tea. I did a few deep breathing and stretching exercises before bed. It was tough to fall asleep at first. Changing habits at this age isn't easy. But after just 1 week, I felt a shift. Less stiffness in the morning, less numbness in my hands, and my lower back didn't ache like it used to. A good night's sleep was truly the key I had been missing for so long. I also remember Nathan, 81 years old, sharing in our seniors exercise group. After I started getting 7 hours of sleep a night, walking became so much easier. Good sleep, not pills, made my knees feel brand new. I looked at him and smiled because I knew he wasn't exaggerating. If you are struggling with persistent joint pain, don't just think about medicine or exercise. Check in on your sleep. Ask yourself, last night, did you truly sleep, or did you just have your eyes closed? If you're still here and finding this helpful, let me know by dropping a 3 in the comments below. And if you haven't already, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Your support truly helped us keep making content that we hope is both useful and inspiring. Fourth, maintaining a healthy weight reduces pressure on joints. There's something I didn't want to admit for a long time. I started getting heavy after 70. A few more pounds each year, clothes fitting a bit snugger, my breath getting shorter on the stairs. But I just tell myself, at this age, eating and sleeping well is a blessing. So what if I'm a little overweight? It wasn't until my knees groaned every time I stood up that I understood. Every extra pound on my waist adds 5 pounds of pressure to my knees. At 80, I faced an undeniable fact. Every extra pound is a heavy load on my joints, especially my knees, hips, and spine. According to doctors, for every pound you gain, your knees bear up to 4 extra pounds of force with every step. I finally understood why a simple trip to the market left me completely exhausted, even if I wasn't carrying anything heavy. I didn't set an aggressive weight loss goal. I just wanted to feel lighter. Not to look better in the mirror, but so that each step felt less heavy. Each time I rose from a chair was less painful. I started by swapping white rice for brown, cutting back on sweets, and adding more steamed vegetables. I didn't go on a miserable diet. I just learned to eat enough. And most importantly, I learned to listen to my body. After 2 months, I had lost nearly 5 pounds. That may not sound like much to others, but to me, it made a world of difference. I no longer gasped for air walking up my front steps. I could stand up without grabbing onto the armrest. And the best part, I felt lighter not just physically, but mentally too. I still remember the story of Helen, 78, who used to get monthly cortisone shots for knee pain. Her doctor suggested she lose weight, but she thought, what good would that do? It wasn't until she tried losing 10 pounds, just by walking and changing her diet, that she finally got it. Losing weight didn't cure my arthritis, she said, but it stopped it from crushing me every day. If you're carrying a few extra pounds and never considered they could be causing your morning joint pain, now is the time to rethink that. It's not about forcing yourself to be thin, but about giving your legs, your back, and your shoulders a bit of a break. And finally, I want to share a crucial element that many older adults overlook: how to properly supplement with calcium and vitamin D at the right time to truly nourish your bones and joints from their very foundation. Fifth, supplementing correctly with calcium and vitamin D. I used to take calcium out of habit, 1 pill in the morning and that was it. I never considered how it was absorbed, what to take it with, or if my body could even use it properly. Then one day my doctor looked at my bone density scan and said, "You're supplementing, but your bones are still weak." At that moment, it hit me. Taking supplements the wrong way is no different from not taking them at all. At 80, I learned that taking calcium and vitamin D isn't just about popping a pill. It's an art that requires you to do it right. Calcium builds and maintains bone density, but it can't get into the bones without a guide. And that guide is vitamin D. Without vitamin D, calcium just floats around in your blood, sometimes even depositing where it shouldn't, like in arteries or kidneys, instead of going directly to your bones as intended. And I realized something else important. The bodies of older adults don't absorb nutrients as well. It didn't matter how much shrimp, fish, or eggs I ate. If I didn't get some morning sun, if I didn't move a little after eating, if I took calcium on an empty stomach or with strong coffee, it was all just going to waste. So I changed my routine. Every morning, after a small breakfast, I'd go to my front yard and let the gentle morning sun touch my skin for about 10-15 minutes. I took my calcium after a main meal, along with some yogurt or almonds rich in magnesium, which helps the body use calcium better. I also asked my doctor to check my vitamin D levels periodically to ensure I wasn't unknowingly deficient. I remember my old friend from the senior center, Jim. He once broke a bone from a minor slip. He later discovered he was severely vitamin D deficient, even though he took calcium every day. Now, he not only takes the right dose of vitamin D, but he also makes sure to walk outside every morning. The result: no more nighttime cramps, stronger bones, and as he says, now I feel like I'm not just living, but being held up from the inside. You see, taking care of your bones isn't just about eating right or taking your medicine. It's about understanding what your body needs at every step. So each calcium pill you take truly becomes a brick in building a solid foundation for an old age free of worry about fractures, osteoporosis, or sudden cramps in the night. When I look back at being 80, I don't remember the parties I went to, the trips I took, or the things I owned. What I remember most clearly is the first time I stood up from a chair without a searing pain in my knee. The first morning in years that I stretched my legs under the covers without a cramp jolting me awake. The moment I poured myself a glass of water without a shaky hand or needing someone to help. We often think that old age means acceptance, accepting sore joints, weak bones, and slower steps. But I've learned that what makes aging difficult isn't our bodies declining, but that we give up on them too soon. The one thing I wish I had realized earlier is this: the moment you start caring for your joints, whether you're 60, 70, or 80, your body will answer back. I didn't do anything heroic. I just did small things, consistently. I rolled my shoulders, stretched my legs, ate more greens, got a full night's sleep, and slowly shed a few extra pounds. I learned how to take calcium correctly, got a little bit of sun, and most importantly, I started listening to my body like an old friend instead of like a broken down machine. My friend, if you are at an age where people say it's too late to change anything now, I want to tell you it is never too late. Not to become young again, but to wake up each morning feeling like you're still in charge of your own legs, hands, and spine. To still be able to make your own coffee. To still be able to step outside, take a breath, smile, and whisper, "Today, I'm still doing okay." Now, I invite you to take a moment and think about yourself. Of the 5 things I've shared, gentle movement, an anti-inflammatory diet, good sleep, weight management, and proper supplements, which one could you start today? Just pick one, because that one small thing could change everything, just as it did for me. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey. If any of this felt like your own story, please leave a comment or share this video with a friend who might need to hear it. You never know, it might just change their life the way it changed mine. I will see you in the next one. I wish you strong, easy, and gentle days ahead.